Hi, I'm Jessi. Welcome to this 5-minute foot stretching video. You're going to need some supplies, so grab a pair of ankle socks. We're going to use those as toe spreaders. And then a folded blanket will be helpful also. So find your way to tabletop position, tuck your toes under, and start to send your hips back towards your heels. Now you are in charge of the intensity, so the more weight you put on your feet, the more intense it'll be. You can keep your hands on the floor or not. Taking big breaths in, slow breaths out, making sure the baby toes are tucked also. Flipping to the tops of the feet. And I always like the number 3, so I do about 3. 3 breaths, rocking forward and back. Putting as much weight that feels good for you. And then tap out the tops of the feet to help boost circulation. Now we're going to do that again, tuck those toes under. If that felt uncomfortable for your knees, you can slide your folded blanket behind your knees. That'll create a little more space for you. Now as we do this the second time, you might find that you need more weight, so you sit up on your heels. Take a big breath, relax your shoulders, soften your jaw. You can take the hips up and then down again. About 3 breaths with the toes tucked under. Relax the shoulders. You're finding what feels good for you, and then you'll flip to the tops of the feet again. And you might find that one angle of the foot is a little tighter than the other, and then you spend more time there. What's really important is that you are just bringing this awareness to your feet and your ankles. Our lower legs, our feet do so much for us throughout the day. They bear a lot of impact and intensity. So it's important to just take some time to appreciate everything they do for you. And one more time, just kind of stretching out the arches of the feet, stretching out the toes. That's really important here. Taking a couple of slow, deep breaths. And then we're going to tap out the tops of the feet again. And we're going to go into spreading out the toes. So this is where I like to use the ankle socks. Thread them between your toes. And if you have toe spreaders, like if you get pedicures and you have those toe spreaders, you can absolutely use those also. So spreading the toes, and then you're going to take a moment just seated and roll your ankles around. Do about 5 circles in one direction and then reverse and do 5 circles in the other direction. The feet are our building blocks of the body. And if your feet are stiff, it will misalign the rest of the body and cause you to be out of balance. After you do those ankle circles, we're going to take a low lunge position. I like to put a blanket under my back knee. Keeping your heel of that front foot on the floor, let your knee go forward. So we're really stretching the calf, the lower leg. Wiggle your toes. You might rock forward and back a few times. And then as you sink into that lunge, you're going to lift and lower your heel. Lift and lower. Spread the toes. Feel the big toe, the pinky toe. Make sure that the toes stay as wide as possible. And then give yourself a nice hamstring stretch. Send your hips back. Flex your toes up towards the sky. Reach your chest towards your foot and breathe. Relax your neck and your face. And then let's switch sides. So as you do this, you got to find the angles that feel the best for you. Please keep that front heel on the floor at first. So you got to make sure you got the legs spread apart so you have space. Rocking back and forth. Feel that front foot on the ground, and then you'll lift and lower that heel. Stretching out the toes. Let the big toe grip the ground a little bit. Just opening up, creating awareness through the lower leg and the foot. And then take that hamstring stretch. Send your hips back. Pull those toes up to the sky. Take a big breath. Let your heart reach forward. And then we're going to finish with our legs up the wall or legs up the couch or bed, whatever you have nearby. I like to put the blanket underneath my hips so my hips are slightly elevated. And then take your legs up. I still have my toe spreaders in, and while your legs are up, I want you to wiggle your toes, roll those ankles around big circles, take a big breath, relax your shoulders, lengthen the back of the neck. Turn your toes out and in a few times, and you're looking at your feet, right? You're bringing your awareness and your attention, your energy to your feet. And then when you're done, let those knees bend, roll over to your favorite side, and slowly come up and pause in this upright position. Take a breath. Let yourself recalibrate, and then you can move forward into the rest of